Hey guys, welcome to Into the Mystic, a podcast where we dive into the mystical wonders of the world. My name's Elena,
And my name is Kevin.
and we will start off today's episode, as always, talking about our week. So I will ask you first, how's your week been so far?
My week has been extraordinary, to say the least. Um I was supposed to hear back from a college this past weekend, and they sent me an email saying, "Sorry, we're not done reviewing your stuff yet." So,
Oh, so that extraordinary is sarcastic.
no, it's been a very off week. It's been very like what is happening?
Are you looking forward to one school specifically or just a genre of multiple?
Anything.
Anything. Have you heard
Anything.
back from any schools?
Yeah, the first one was just like not good. The first Virginia was just like nope.
All
Yeah,
right, I'm sorry to hear that.
it's all good. But I can say confidently that I will be going to college somewhere. I will be at least getting
Somewhere.
Yeah, after being on the line with Temple for almost an hour, they were like, "Yeah, you're good. We're just for some reason our application or whatever the portal that they have me accessing is messed up right now, but it says that I'm accepted. They said that I'm accepted, but the portal says that my application is incomplete."
Well, if you're accepted, that's what matters.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
It-
So what's the school you're looking forward to currently this week?
Well, it was supposed to be Coastal Carolina, which is Coastal. If you hear this, I didn't say this, but it is one of the lower end options for me. It would be nice to go there, but at the same time, I hear that it's not the most academically inclined school. And now that I got accepted to Temple, that's kind of the bar. Temple's the bar
Yeah.
now.
But it's still, you applied as a safety and everything, so there
Yeah.
was options. So there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be your number one. I mean, not all of your schools are bound to be number one anyway.
But if Coastal gives me that sweet, sweet aid package, I might have to reconsider because free college is free college. But
This is true. And you can always transfer.
very true. How's your week been?
My week's been good. We're like only halfway through the week, so there's not much going on, but I have been out of the house a lot more recently. The past week, I was at one of my parents' house, and it's just very much so the type of house that's like, you're not going anywhere, you're not going to go do this, like stay at home. So I was definitely bored out of my mind last week, but this week I'm with the other parent, and so I've just been Monday out, Tuesday out, Sunday out. Like today, I'm also going out again. Like I'm just so excited. It's for small little things, but just being able to like not be in the house all the time, or just from going to school and then home and school and then home, like is so amazing. So I've definitely been liking that, but unfortunately it getting dark so quickly outside is really killing me because I literally went to the library yesterday, and at 4:00 we're like in the seats and the couches that have the windows of the library right next to them, and it's like pitch black outside. And I was like, how it's 4:00, like school ended literally an hour ago and it is pitch dark outside. That's really disappointing. Besides that, my week's been good. I have caught up on all my homework, so I don't have anything due for the rest of the week.
Can't say the same.
Hopefully. Oh, can't say the same. So who set that system up? Whose fault is that?
I don't know. What homework?
Oh yeah. What? No, yeah. It's you know, the
it's not
break's
there.
coming up, and yeah, you know,
Yeah.
all that.
What are your plans for the break?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm hosting Christmas Eve at my father's house.
Christmas.
I'm not excited to host, that's
Oh.
for sure. I really do not like hosting because you have to do all the cleanup and everything, so that kind of sucks. And then Christmas Day is going to be at my grandparents' house. Hopefully that goes well.
Mhm.
So I don't know, but I'm not really going anywhere besides that. Like I'm not traveling, not seeing like distanced family, so it's kind of just going to be working and working and working and Christmas and more working. But Hey, my hours are adding up, so that's what matters.
That sweet, sweet moolah is coming in.
Yep, finally. It's only taken, 6 months to get some good hours. What
Better late
are
than
your
never.
holiday break plans?
So a lot of them are spontaneous,
Uh-oh.
but a lot of them aren't. I know we do yearly. We have our Christmas Eve family gathering, and then this year, since I haven't known what to do for Christmas Day for the past couple years, I'm going up to Cuse to see my papa.
Fun.
Yeah, that'll be nice. And I think at some point that I'm gonna be going snowboarding. Disregard the broken shoulder, but
So,
I'll be okay. I'll be good. I think that it's
we're glaring at you,
No,
man.
no,
We've got some opinions on
no.
that. That's not.
It's nice to get back out there, like we're.
I don't know about that.
And then there's New Year's, which we'll see. I don't know what's happening for New Year's. I'm not gonna lie. I just know that I'm not gonna be traveling, which is what I normally do. I hate traveling for New Year's, and for some reason, we do it every single year.
Well,
But-
hopefully not this year. I
Yeah.
also have no New Year's plans besides eating 12 grapes at midnight, the Cuban tradition. I have no plans, and I want some plans because, again, I don't want to be stuck in my house as I am every other New Year's. And this is finally the year that, like, my parents have been a little bit more accepting of, like, me leaving the house at, like, nighttime. So hopefully I'll do something.
Yeah.
We'll see.
New Year's has always been a tricky one in our house because we never know what we're doing until like 7 days before.
Oh, really?
Never.
My family doesn't know what they're doing until literally an hour before. My dad treats it as just a regular day because that's who I have on New Year's Eve.
Mhm.
And he just treats it as a regular day, no party, not inviting anyone over, like nothing. And then it'll be like 11:45 or something, and he'll come in my room and he'll be like, "Hey, Elena, do you want to watch the ball drop or no?" And then I'll be like, "Yeah, sure, I guess." And then we'll just go in the living room and he'll take forever to put it on because he always is indecisive about what show he wants to see it broadcasted by because, it's obviously being broadcasted by like every news channel in the whole entire world.
Mhm.
And so he'll take like 10 minutes to decide. And then by the time he decides, it'll be like literally the countdown. And then that's it. And then he'll be like, "Oh, Happy New Year. Love you. And good night."
That's-
So pretty boring,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I genuinely have no idea what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do like something with friends, but we had something planned with cousins, and then that fell out. Like
Oh.
we just So, like I was thinking maybe I'll do something with my girlfriend and her family, but at the same time, that's kind of a boundary that I don't want to exactly cross.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So, besides New Year's, your break, you're going snowboarding. And you
So
think that's a good idea?
I don't think we need to go back to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, but during the break, realistically, I do have to catch up on grades. They've been a weak point for me for like
Yeah.
my entire life. So
Yeah.
that's just something I got to work on.
Well, you do have the break, and then the quarter doesn't end until the end of January. So, as long as you just study as hard as possible before midterms and all of that, I think you'll be set.
Yeah. On that note, I was just talking about the whole kind of struggling with grades and everything.
Mhm.
That's been a big factor for my life. I mean, the lack of discipline. That's kind of why Avid exists.
Yeah.
I really have Avid to thank for gaining the ability to focus and improve my schoolwork as a whole. Because for many years, like I I just fell behind in the realm of discipline, and I saw all my friends kind of skyrocket in it, and I was very doubtful in my abilities because of that. And going into Christmas, a time of giving and everything, I got Davide a little something as like a thank you for kind of holding my hand.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell what it is on here because she does listen, I think.
We
So,
think.
yeah. Um, but yeah, when we come back, we're going to dive deeper into self acceptance and kind of like how um, our struggles and our imperfections can be worked around and developed and, well, accepted.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. It is a class that we take for all 4 years of high school, and it talks about college readiness and preparing yourself and organizing yourself with time management and all of that so you can keep on top of your grades. I'm also an AVID. Of course, I'm in a different grade, so in a different section, but I agree it definitely has helped me a lot the past few years. When I was in middle school, I got selected for it because all of my teachers were recommending me. I was super smart, I was intelligent, I knew all of my work, but I just never did it. I never completed my homework. I would just not really try all too much, and then I was failing a few classes, even though I knew what I was doing. So it honestly has helped me a lot because I've completely changed thanks to it, and now like I do stay on top of my work. So AVID is definitely something that I wish a lot more people had the opportunity to get into, but unfortunately it's like you start off your freshman year and then you kind of just continue, or in some cases people don't continue and then they get kicked out. But it's such a good program, and I feel like so many people think of it as just being like trips and a class where you do nothing, but truly like it does help you because you have someone who's there to like go with you and hold your hand, like you said, every step of the way and be like, this is what you do and then this is next, and it's okay, you're not alone. So when you have that teacher that follows through with you all 4 years, they understand you and they've seen you grow and they know how to help you further on.
I couldn't agree anymore. We have a very vast and kind of diverse class, and we're not even a large class. I think we're 12, 13 people in my class.
Whoa.
Yeah, we were, I think, in the 20s at one point, but yeah, we cut down to half. But Davide, our teacher, our AVID teacher, has grown accustomed to each of our different learning styles and kind of where we're flawed in terms of getting work done. Kind of, she knows how to work well with us, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
And I am forever grateful for that.
Yeah, that's really sweet. All right, guys, so we are going to take a quick little break. Hope it's not too long. And when we come back, we'll be talking about self-acceptance.
Bye-bye. Welcome back from the break.
Welcome. That sucked. What were...
I don't know where I was going with that.
Where were you going with that?
Are we just going
to leave with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Sounds
good.
I looked over to you, and I thought that you were going to save
Okay,
me.
no worries.
Okay.
All right, so like I said, we're going to talk about self-acceptance now. This is a topic that we've been wanting to talk about for a little bit because it is something really important to us. Everyone, I think, in the high school has struggled with it at some point or another, and basically everyone in the world, actually, whether they admit to it or not, it's something that's a lot more common. And so, yeah, we're going to be kind of touching on that. Would you like me to start, or is there anything specifically you'd like to lead off on?
If you have something in mind that you want to start with, I think that you should.
Okay. Yeah. Sure, I could do that. So, on our last episode, we did talk about my cousin. And one of the things that really struggles with me in terms of my self-acceptance is that since I'm so close in age to my cousin and just a few other cousins in general, I do often get compared to them. And so it can be a little worrisome during family events such as Thanksgiving or Christmas or just regular dinners every once in a while that my family does compare me a lot, and they kind of like contrast the differences between us, like how our grades are doing, who's taller, who looks better, who eats better, all sorts of stuff that they really shouldn't be comparing us to. And that's definitely been a huge struggle for me. Do you experience anything like that or?
I agree 100%. I have, um, in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it doesn't, maybe I'm not like the lowest on the totem pole,
Yeah.
but I have seen it firsthand. I have seen, um, well, I was on the lower end of the totem pole growing up, but that's since changed.
Mm.
But with these comparisons, with these ideas and I guess attempts at bettering, quote unquote, uh, you as a child, it can really damage self esteem, and kind of just
Yeah.
want to do.
I totally agree. I feel like I've definitely grown up thinking that everything is sort of a competition, especially
Mhm.
when it comes to grades and stuff like that. Because, of course, when progress reports come out at the end of the quarter or midterms, my family always likes to ask me and then my cousin and then see the difference between us. Or stuff like just now, how I'm looking into colleges, and my family likes to compare the colleges that my cousins have gone to in the past versus what I'm planning on doing. My cousins all go to private school. I'm the only person in my whole entire family that's decided willingly to go to public school. All of that sort of stuff that it does feel like. I like how you use the word totem pole and how moving back and forth, because I was the little runt of the family. I was the youngest for a really, really long time. So I always got the hand me down clothes. I was always the one that I was always looking up to everyone, and everyone wanted me to be just like them, if not better. And I think now that I've grown up, honestly, it's completely changed into the opposite, where unfortunately my cousins are getting compared to me. And I just don't like the way that that system really works, because it's way too much. And even as an only child, I don't have siblings. So I can't imagine like things that you could possibly be going through, or your sister.
Yeah, I mean, there was. I'll talk briefly about my situation with my father, but how my mother summed it up is a little crude, and inaccurate. But basically, what happened is around the age of 8, my father had moved to a separate country. Or he moved all around. He moved throughout the states, and then he moved foreign. Um, and he had my two stepbrothers with them, which to this day I hold very dearly, to be able to have somewhat of a brotherly bond,
Yeah, of
because
course.
I wanted that growing up desperately, but it made me lose a sense of self-worth, and especially in the years of rapid hormone production, as in puberty years, it it did play a very big role on my ability to appreciate myself and my self-compassion. Both those were very low for me growing up. I didn't really like I had this bar that I had to achieve, and if I didn't achieve it, I kind of lost interest in doing it, and it made me feel worthless to even try, cuz what would try and get you if you weren't already at that bar?
Yeah, no, I agree completely with what you're saying. And I definitely believe that that stems from your family starting that off, because, as a kid, your friends in school aren't comparing you to anything older or to each other. Your friends are all kids and you're young and you're just having fun, but family is definitely where that whole idea stems from. And I agree, when you're talking about maturing as a young adult, that can also be extremely difficult. I am the tallest of my whole entire family on my mom's
Lucky.
side, tallest of everyone. That includes like my uncles, like everyone. I'm all the men in my family taller than every single one of them. And it was always something that my family kind of, even though they're literally looking up to me, they're looking down on me for it, because I stick out like a sore thumb compared to them. And my girl cousins have all just been built differently than me. And so they kind of like put me in this little box, and I just don't really like that, especially like when taking family pictures. I really don't like to do that, because I have to sort of arch my back down to get to their level, and it looks really awkward. And that's just something I've never really appreciated. And also, I come from a Hispanic family. We're all Cuban, so of course that's why we're short. But I am the lightest of my family, which as a kid, I never thought anything was wrong with that. My friends never made fun of me for that. but my family would always call me Blanquita because I am Blanquita, like, and so I've literally been told by some of my cousins, like, oh, you don't look like a real Hispanic. Well, what is that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
Because you're extremely related to me. Just because I don't look the way that you do doesn't mean that I'm not the same as you.
With those words and those concepts in mind, it kind of really it is building blocks for someone's character and someone's mind as a whole.
Yeah. It definitely unconsciously goes into your head. And at first you're thinking like, oh, it's a funny little nickname. Like my family loves me so much. They're calling me these cute little names.
And then it develops into a self-pictured flaw.
Exactly.
Of sorts. And I think that the big thing that I wanted to talk about with this is how to get over that. And it's not as easy it's not as easily undone as it is doing. Like,
oh yeah,
it's the but the biggest thing that I want to touch on is that you need a support system when you talk about this stuff, because as personal and as dull and as irrelevant as some of your own issues can seem, I believe that every issue and every factor that created a person and who they are is important to share. And whether that be with a therapist or whether that be with a written journal, you have to kind of just get it out there is the first step. Getting it out there, if you don't do that, you're just letting it
build up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's always where, growing up, that's where that stopped. That's where the support stopped. That's all I heard to an extent.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that it is good to communicate with others because whether people talk about it or not, everyone is insecure about something, whether that's inside or their physical appearance. Everyone always has something that they don't really like about themselves, or they try to hide it whenever they're in a photo or whatever the thing may be. That's something that someone's not talking about, and that's what's eating them up alive. And so when you're experiencing something that you really don't feel all too great about yourself with this certain feature or whatever it may be, you have to honestly take that and make the best out of it.
Mm-hmm. Which brings me to number 2, which is address it. Address what the thing is that you have a problem with, whether it be internal, whether it be in the past, whether it be external. If you have a problem with something, just come to terms with it. Be like, this is the situation that I'm in. This is the hand that I was dealt.
Yeah, there's no changing it.
And then step 3 is to see what can you do about it. And step 3 can go 2 different ways. Step 3 can be a progressive way, as in step 3 could be, like, for example, if it's an internal struggle, like self-beauty image or self-image of beauty is what I meant to say. Step 3 would be to cut self-comparisons out and then to practice self-compassion. And that's done in speaking highly about yourself to yourself.
You know, I hear you're saying not to compare yourself to other people, but honestly, what has helped me is doing exactly that, but in the healthy and good way. Because for people who are listening who don't know what I look like, I have a beauty mark right next to my nose on my face. And as a kid, I was not for it. I really did not like it. No one in my family had it. I felt like it stuck out, and I felt like it just made me look uneven. As a kid, I would take pictures and edit them out to imagine myself without them. Even as a kid in the 5th grade, one of my friends in school, or so supposedly one of my friends, was drawing everybody in the class like this cute little picture in their sketchbook or whatever. Then he got to me and he drew me, and then he took a Sharpie and drew a ginormous black dot on my face to symbolize it. And it's small things like that. But as I got older, I realized that in the olden times, that was something that women admired. They desired to have a natural beauty mark.
Yeah.
So many people would do it. Dolly Parton would take the end of a cigarette and do it on her face. Like Marilyn Monroe had one. Who is from Breakfast and Tiffany? Do you know who I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
It'll come to me later on. But anyway, there were so many women who were completely idols at the time who had that exact feature that I had. And I just had to realize, whoa, I was blessed with something that people for years and generations took makeup and all sorts of stuff to make themselves look like. And I have one naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And so comparing yourself sometimes can honestly be a good thing if you do it in the healthy and proper way, of course.
Yeah, which that's all like a reconstruction of your attitude towards the world, which
Exactly.
this would be a very positive outlook and optimistic, which is exactly what you need to come to terms with yourself. You welcome yourself into a positive state of mind, and that will help you millions in the world.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And a whole other thing that I'm going to get vulnerable here. I really did not like my teeth. And to this day, I do still struggle with it. But there's so many icons in music like Freddie Mercury, Gracie Abrams, Melanie Martinez, all that sort of stuff who have amazing voices. Amy Winehouse, so many people like that I can go on and on that you just honestly, you have to look at the good in the world and compare yourself to others in the good way that makes you feel like you're just as amazing as how you see other people. That's how we see you.
Exactly. Well, that's going to be it for this episode. This is a very endearing topic, and it can go many which ways, which we will continue to express in the future, but that will be it for today.
Thank you so much for listening. We'd like everyone to know if they are struggling with anything at all, there are so many resources to help. You are not alone. Contact our school's amazing counseling office, social workers, or psychologists. And if you ever run into either one of us, feel welcome to ask for help. We love you and have an amazing rest of your day.
Thank you for listening to O Radio. We put the O in radio. Make sure to follow us on social media at O Radio OHS on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Bye, guys.